Well, tonight we are keeping a close eye on the tropics as the disturbance moves closer to the Gulf. So we're already seeing some storms in places like Florida's Panhandle, but it could reach us later this week. That's something that we're looking out for. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Sharice Gibson.
And I'm Devin Bartolotta. While the chances of this becoming a named storm still pretty low, it could still bring heavy rain our way. Parishes across the area are making sure they're ready.
And we want you to be ready as well. We'll have more on what they're doing and how you can prepare, but in a moment. But first, let's check on this weather impact alert with Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin. Chris, tracking this one?
Yes, and we'll be tracking it through the overnight period and into tomorrow. And I'm waiting to see what goes on during the overnight period. This is what I'm looking at right now. This is where the center of the invest is being indicated by the Hurricane Center. Keep that in mind. Inland, there is definitely some rotation showing up on radar, but also look at this complex of storms that are off the Big Bend. These are in the Gulf waters. When I switch over to just radar, there does look to be some kind of broad circulation. I was actually kind of getting a rough idea of what the surface winds are doing based on a satellite. And while there is certainly nothing closed there, there is definitely kind of signs of maybe more broad cyclonic circulation, basically reiterating that this is more of a surface trough. The big question, though, is does what is inland remain as the center, or is a new center trying to develop within the area of thunderstorms? Where the center is right now is still over land. It's still in a fairly highly sheared environment. There are no thunderstorms around it, and it is very weak. Sometimes when these systems are trying to organize, it almost ditches one old center and re-centers it over an area of thunderstorms, convection that are already over the Gulf waters. Now, I say that with the caveat of model runs are still indicating that this is the center, which if it is, it still moves to the west, keeping it right along the Florida Panhandle through most of the day tomorrow. Notice kind of a broad center, again, whatever center there is. By 10 o'clock, it's maybe just to the south of Destin, Pensacola. As we head toward 10 a.m. Thursday, just about at either the Lake Bourne, mouth of the river, somewhere in this vicinity. And then later in the day, Thursday and early Friday, making that turn up toward the north. As we are watching this, though, I'm going to wait to see if that little center remains or if the models start grabbing onto those thunderstorms, because if it's those thunderstorms that are firing up already in the Gulf waters, most of these models are all going to shift farther down to the south, and it would mean that the storm would stay over water longer. We'll take you through all of the possible scenarios and what impacts we are still likely to see here coming up.
Lots to talk about. All right, Chris, thanks.